Hello, so welcome back to another deck profile from me. Before we start, I just wanted to show off this really nice, I think it's the Eternity Code Premier mouse mat that I got recently. Super pretty and I needed one anyway, but I don't think I'm brave enough to take it to work yet, so it's currently my at-home mouse mat. So let's put that to one side and get started with the deck profile. So I will go through it just quickly bit by bit today. So again, I'm pretty much playing a very similar deck build to last time. So again, the 3 Razen, 2 Mad Love, 1 Panthera, and these are like your normal summons, so there's 6 of them. I got the 2 Dialong that we search off the Razen if we're going into our search combo. 2 Heavy Bolgar and the Caesar as the bounce. So this is our starting roster, and I think this is like the bare minimum any VS deck should have. And then we go into a supporting act. So you've got the Kashtira Rise Heart package, which is really key for Stake Your Soul. 3 Ash Blossom because it's good and it's fire, which you need for most of these effects. 2 Ghost Spell, I thought, because I think it's more relevant in the upcoming formats. 2 Kurokara because of the fire again, and I think it's quite good to just tribute off your opponent's stuff. They get a bit too greedy with massive boards. 3D Shifter. This worked really well last deck profile, and again it's a dark to reveal, so I like that. Crow as well, because there's a lot of sort of Horus going on at the moment and you want to preemptively sort that out. Pop for consistency. Stake Your Soul, because you know it's just great if you get stuck. If you just draw Ash or Kurokara, you get your Razen out and carry on. Rota and Durandal to search out Razen. The 2 spell traps that I get from for the VS specific, so Dust Devil and Snow Devil. And I'm actually main decking 2 Cosmic Cyclone because Runick's pretty popular at the moment, and Labyrinth are kind of making a comeback, I guess, in a way. And also, of course, 3 Imperm, just all-round good staple. Side deck is pretty much the same as last time. So 3 Rock, 1 SP, Security Dragon, Nightmare Unicorn, Red Eyes Metal Flare, Typhon, Zeus, Zodiac Package, so Borbo, Shakanine, Baguska, Abyss Dweller, and Super Poly targets at the back. Side deck, I have 3 Super Poly, 3 Nib, 3 Droll, 2 Pank, 2 Soul Release, and then the rest of the back row stuff, so Cosmic and Harpy's Feather Duster. So this week at locals I didn't do as well. It was a 4-round locals and my overall score was 1 win, 2 draws and 1 loss. So I'll go through exactly what happened. So round 1 I went versus Labyrinth. I managed to win the dice roll, which is always good against Labyrinth because you want to go first so they don't set. But, so the big but, is that they now have Arius, I think one of the new monsters that released in Agov, that lets them essentially play turn 1, and if they're playing a furniture build, they can, they can do stuff even if it's, you're going first and it's not their turn yet. So they set a big welcome Labyrinth while it was still my turn, and I was like, well, I have to get rid of that, otherwise they're just going to activate it on their turn. And at that point I knew I didn't have an Ash in hand, which is kind of annoying. I actually didn't really see Ash all day, to be honest. And I had a Harpy's Feather Duster, I think one of the games that we played, and I just had to use shotgun it because I knew that was going to happen. But anyway, so game 1 I just got out-resourced by them, and the main issue was that I'm not familiar with the matchup, so I didn't know where to interrupt. And then game 2 I won in time, so we drew. So the main thing that I learned from the matchup with Labby is like interrupting them. So what they do, the combo is they activate a normal trap, and then they immediately chain Lady Labyrinth's effect, which is when a normal trap activates, doesn't matter whose field it's on, she can set 1 normal trap from the deck to the field. So that's the main way how they resource loop and keep up their game advantage. So if you chain any quick effect in between that normal trap and them trying to activate the Lady Lab, you essentially block them from doing that because Lady Lab is a when effect. So I guess like VS is actually really well placed to do that because we have so many fast effects, whether that's bouncing something out or just activating one of the monster effects. I've learned that I need to do that to interrupt them if I see they've activated a normal trap and have Lady Labyrinth on the field. Even if it's not a good time for me, even if it's just me showing like one fire for Razen to stop it being destroyed by card effects, doesn't matter. Just do it, otherwise they'll get more card advantage. So I think a lot of it was just me not knowing like where the choke points were. I guess like Crow can also be good as well if you want to banish their furniture, because I think they've got ways to recycle furniture. So I think the Stovey Torby can special summon itself back out onto the field, and I think it's the Chandraglia which goes back to the hand. So if you can banish them, that's really good. And you can also, I guess, DD Crow the Big Welcome Labyrinth preemptively, because if they have a level 8 Fiend monster on their field, they can banish that card, the Big Welcome Labyrinth, and essentially return one of the opponents, so my cards, to hand. So you kind of want to stop that preemptively as they banish it for cost. So I guess the main thing is that I don't really know the matchup. I'd like to go, try that again and see how that worked. So round 2, I went against Snake Eye. So bear in mind this is pre Phantom Nightmare, so this is just pure Snake Eye with 3 Diabell Star, 3 Wanted, etc. So I've again not played against this matchup much before, and we ended up drawing. I think I kind of struggled a little bit because of the fact they specialed so many little monsters. I guess with VS, you're just trying to destroy stuff as much as possible to clear the board, but the problem is when their stuff, I think, is destroyed, they get to special summon stuff out the deck, so I don't have many ways of, like, say, banishing, or bouncing stuff, so it's kind of hard for me, and I think I actually made quite a silly move because I think I had 3 Vanquish Soul stuff on the board, so I might have a Razen, Xiaolong or something else, and they had like a Diabell Star on the field, and I read it, and the last bit was like they can discard a card to special summon her back from the graveyard if she's destroyed, and I was like, I kind of don't want that, so I thought I'd link my stuff off, discard off Nightmare Unicorn to shuffle her back, and then I attacked with Nightmare Unicorn, but like I completely forgot that they actually added they had a spell in hand which sets a monster that you have to the spell trap zone, and that's what they did with Unicorn, and then I had empty boards, so I made some pretty like foolish decisions there, so that was quite costly for me, but I managed to get the draw by burning them with Borga game 2, so that was cool. I guess I think I'm gonna maybe like lab a little bit and just get to know the Snake Eyes matchup, especially when Populous comes out soon. So game 3, I went against Runick Horus. Now this is where this build really shines. I won 2-0 in about 15 minutes. I think I won the dice roll, so I set up board and essentially made sure that I got to Caesar Valius ASAP, as well as an Earth in hand, because you want to be able to destroy the fountain as soon as you see it, or the King Sark. So that was really key for me there. So I think I also, this is like the only game I drew Ash, so that when they try to discard a Horus monster and something else to get King Sark out, I ashed that. And I also main deck Cosmic Cyclone as well, so I think game 1 when I set up I had a set Cosmic Cyclone, and then I think at some point they couldn't do much because I think I DD Crowed when they fountained, so they couldn't get the draw off fountain the past turn. And then when I normal summoned Razen and tried to do stuff, they activated Skill Drain, I chained Cosmic Cyclone, and they scooped. So that was kind of cool. So this build's pretty good against Runick Horus. And then game 4, I went against a Volcanic Spright deck, and I lost the dice roll. And I think I opened no hand traps pretty much, so I couldn't stop them from setting up a huge board where they had IP Masquerina. They had, I think, Sprite Red, is it, that negates monster effects? I can't remember, it's red or carrot, by attributing a level 2. They also had a Nimble Beaver on a field, and they also had, I think, some other level 2, might have been Gigantic Sprite, I can't remember. So I managed to get them to negate, I think, Stake Your Soul, or I can't remember what it was, something, and then I managed to use a Kurokara, but I think that was a really grindy game 1, and I think I had SP Little Knight, Kurokara, I used it to special summon back the SP, but Volcanic, they really do match VS for and even more so for burn damage, so I lost that, and then game 2, again, I lost with time, even though like I made Red Eyes Metal Flare. I think this was with like 5 minutes left or something, and this was the only thing I could literally go into because I bricked really hard when I opened. I didn't open any engine. I just had, I think, Fenrir. I got a Kashtira, Rise Heart, and that's all I could sit on really, and they managed to outburn me, and they basically won by about 300 life points or something. So that was my loss. So overall, yeah, like I said, one win, 2 draws, and 1 loss. Annoyingly, I did side in like Super Poly for stuff. That reminds me of the last game. I managed to get a Pot of Prosp going first, but when I revealed my 6, I didn't hit a starter at all. I actually hit Super Poly, Droll, just loads of like anti their deck stuff. So the best thing I could have gone for was Droll because I didn't have much engine really in my hand to set up board. So I'm still yet to use Super Poly in this build. I really want to use it because I know how annoying it can be for opponents. I think I also had Nib for that last game as well. Made a bit of difference, but not a huge amount. Pank, I've not managed to really get him in yet. I might be swapping him out maybe for something a bit more high impact. Soul Release, yeah, not quite found a way to side it in yet because the Super Polys, Nibs, Drolls seem to be much more impactful, as well as the back row in terms of impact. So I think for next week's locals, I'm probably going to think about taking taking a few leaves from someone's book. I can't remember the exact saying right now, but I noticed that VS came second at the most recent German nationals, and the deck list that they played had 3 Small World. So I think I'm going to spend some time learning the Small World bridges and hoping that's going to add a little bit more consistency to this deck. And I also noticed that their deck profile ran 3 Heavy Borgar and 1 Caesar Valius. So I think one of my subscribers who commented on my video previously, I went to watch one of his profiles, and he actually runs more of the bouncers because there's a lot of Runick Horus, I guess, Runick going on at the moment, and you just don't want them to just by chance banish your one of boss monster. So I'm really thinking about maybe upping my ratios a little bit more. Maybe swapping out the pots for Small World, and maybe changing up some stuff in my side deck. So yeah, we shall see. So this one was really short and sweet. So thank you if you made it to the end of this one, and hopefully I'll be back with another video after this week's locals with hopefully a more positive result. So yeah, thanks again, and hopefully see you soon.